Welcome to GCSE Film Studies. At the Boswell School, we study the WJEC EDUCAS specification in GCSE Film Studies. It's designed to draw on the learner's enthusiasm for film and introduce them to a wide variety of cinematic experiences. In a nutshell, it's kind of like English, but instead of studying a written text, we study moving image. The learners will develop their knowledge of US mainstream film by studying a film from the 1950s, and we study Invasion of the Body Snatchers, and one from the 1980s, and we compare it with E.T. And in addition to this, we also study a range of more recent films, such as US independent films, a UK film, but also films from around the world as well. Here you can see the films we study on the course. As mentioned previously, we begin by studying a film from the 1980s and the 1950s, and then we go on to study a US independent film, which is Little Miss Sunshine. We then look at a UK film, Attack the Block, a film set in another country, which is Slumdog Millionaire, and a film with a foreign language, which is Tsotsi, which is an African film. In addition to studying these 6 films, you will also complete coursework, which is to develop your own film idea and film script. Here we see examples of students' work from various stages of the course. Initially, we study the history of the film industry, starting with the first moving image film by the Lumiere brothers, through to the modern CGI and post-production developments. We also build our knowledge of technical skills through watching scenes from films such as The Great Gatsby. Here we learn what cinematography is, what the term mise-en-scène means, and techniques such as lighting, editing, and sound, and how these work together to create mood, atmosphere, and to manipulate the audience. We then study key scenes and sequences from our set films, learning why directors use particular camera shots and micro-elements. And finally, we learn about intertextual references in films, theories that apply to filmmaking, and how directors use colour skillfully to make film scenes appear like works of art. The film is assessed through 2 exam papers and a coursework element. Here you can see that the first exam paper, component 1, is 35% of the qualification and worth 70 marks. It assesses the students' knowledge of the US films that they've studied, their knowledge of the history of the film industry, and the knowledge of the US independent film and an article about that film that they study in class. The second paper, the component 2 paper, again is worth 35% of the qualification and a total of 70 marks. Here we focus on global films that we study, with a particular focus on film narratives, how people, places and issues are represented in film, and different directorial styles. The final assessment of the course is through the coursework, also known as the NEA, non-exam assessment. It's worth 30% of the qualification and a total of 60 marks. For this part of the course, students create their own film idea and then produce their own screenplay and shooting script, learning how to format these correctly. Here they can show off their creative talents and also their knowledge of camera work, lighting and editing to create something that is unique to their own idea. We offer students a range of enrichment opportunities, such as film clubs that can take place at lunchtimes, film competitions where students can celebrate their developing skills, and we also seek out national competitions that we encourage our students to enter. GCSE Film Studies is ideal for those students considering a further education course in media or film. Studying film studies can lead on to many career paths within the industry, including visual effect production, editing, film research, media production, and many more. The key skills you develop are transferable to other skills and include creative thinking, critical thinking, emotional intelligence, film analysis, textual analysis, communication, research skills, literacy, and technical competencies. For further information on the course, you can always jump on to the Boswell's Media Studies Twitter feed, which shows the competitions that we offer our GCSE Film Studies students, any additional reading material that we recommend. You can also get an understanding of the topics that are covered in the course, and you will regularly see examples of students' work. For any additional questions on the course, students can come and find Mrs. Ross, the Head of Film and Media Studies, in school, or you could email either Mrs. Ross or Mrs. Crickmore, and we'll be happy to get back to you with the answers to your questions.